Hey everyone, welcome. We're about to dive into some really cool Python logic hacks. And listen, this isn't about being flashy, it's about writing code that's just plain smarter, more elegant, and way more efficient.
So let me ask you something. You ever finish a piece of code and it works, right? But you just have that feeling in the back of your mind that it could be, I don't know, better, a bit cleaner maybe, a little more slick? Yeah? If that sounds familiar, you're definitely in the right place.
All right, here's the game plan. We'll kick things off by figuring out what a logic hack even is. Then we're going to hit three awesome examples: the one-liner assignment, getting unique lists in a flash, and writing logic that's faster. And we'll finish up with a super important idea: the battle between clever code and clear code. Okay, so first up, what are logic hacks? I mean, what are we really talking about here? It's not about writing some secret cryptic code that nobody can figure out. No way. It's actually the total opposite. It's all about using the power that Python already gives you to make your code super clear and way more efficient. Right, so the goal is not to be obscure. The real goal is to write what the community calls Pythonic code. You know, code that just feels right. It feels natural to the language, like it's exactly how Python was meant to be written. And that brings us right to this. Being Pythonic, it just means you're leaning into what makes Python, well, Python. You're all about simplicity, readability, efficiency. It's about using the built-in tools to get the job done in the simplest, most direct way you can. All right, let's get into our first hack. This one is something you're probably doing all the time: assigning a value to a variable, but only if some condition is met. So check this out. On the left is the classic way, right? The four-line if-else statement. We all know it, it works just fine, but it's a little bulky for something so simple, isn't it? Now look at the right. Bam, one single beautiful line that does the exact same thing. This is called a ternary operator, and wow, is it a more Pythonic way to do things. And here's why this is so much better. I mean, yeah, it's shorter, which is nice, but it's more than that. Once you get the hang of it, it's actually super readable. It reads just like variable gets value underscore A times if the condition is true, else it gets value underscore B. It's a classic, direct, and just plain effective pattern. Okay, hack number 2. Let's talk about a classic problem, one I'm sure you've run into a million times. You've got a list, and it's full of duplicate items, and your job is to clean it up, get a new list with just the unique stuff. Wow, okay, this comparison says it all. The before on the left, that's the manual labor version. You make a new list, you loop, you check, is this in there yet? You append. It's just a lot of boilerplate code. But the after, that is just pure Python magic. You turn the list into a set, which can't have duplicates by definition, and then turn it right back into a list. One line. That's it. Job done. So, why is this so much better? Well, for one, Python sets are built for this stuff. They're super optimized, so it's usually way faster. But here's the real kicker for me. It communicates your intent perfectly. When someone reads that code, they don't have to trace through a loop to figure out what you're doing. They see list, set within the rest, and they know instantly, they're getting the unique items. It's just so clear. Okay, our third hack is maybe a little more subtle, but trust me, this one can have a massive impact on your code speed. We're talking about making your logic faster by using a cool feature called short-circuiting to, well, avoid doing work you don't have to. And the analogy here is perfect. Think about it. If you're looking for your keys and you find them in the living room, are you going to go keep looking in the kitchen? Of course not. You stop. That's exactly what Python does. With an and, if the first part is false, the whole thing is false. So Python just stops. With an or, if the first part is true, the whole thing is true. Again, it stops. It short circuits. Now, let's see this in action. In the inefficient example, we're running some big, expensive function first. So even if that simple check was going to fail, we've already wasted all that time and energy on the expensive function. But look what happens when we just flip the order. In the efficient version, we do the quick, simple check first. If that fails, Python short circuits. And that expensive function, it never even runs. Huge difference. I mean, this is a game changer. You're preventing pointless work, which can give you a massive performance boost. It also lets you write way safer code. Think about it. You can check if an object even exists before you try to use it, all in one line. And the best part of all, you don't have to turn anything on. This is just built into Python. It's how and or work by default. You just have to be clever about the order you put things in. So we've seen some pretty clever stuff, right? But that brings us to maybe the most important takeaway of all: a little bit of wisdom about the real goal when we're writing code. Just let this sink in for a second. It's from the Zen of Python, which is like the soul of the language. Readability counts. At the end of the day, the best code isn't the one that makes you look like the smartest person in the room. The best code is the one that's crystal clear to the next person who reads it. And let's be real, half the time, that next person is going to be you in 6 months, trying to figure out what you were thinking. And that's what this all boils down to. The whole point of these hacks, the whole point of writing Pythonic code, is to hit that sweet spot of being idiomatic, readable, and effective. The goal isn't just cleverness for its own sake. It's clarity, it's efficiency, it's writing good code. So, I'm going to leave you with this question to chew on. As you go out and write your own code, always keep this in the back of your mind. Where's the line? When does a clever solution cross over from being an elegant Pythonic hack into being just an obscure trick that makes life harder for everyone? Finding that balance, well, that's the real art of programming.